This is a video for Lauren, Roger and Beck. We took the big fella Donald to the New Jersey horse trials this weekend for his first advanced event. This has a reputation of being a slightly easier advance, so I was eager to try and spin him around a slightly softer course before I head overseas. So this is obviously the dressage from yesterday, Saturday. And I got to say, he was pretty good. In typical style, I started training the flying changes about a week before his first advance. So to start with, they were a little bit of a mess, and I was lucky actually. He got both flying changes sort of decent. I had to throw him over. You'll see it in a second. But Silver was actually kind enough to ride him a couple of times for me, and I schooled him in the dressage and try and fast track his flying changes for his big advanced debut. He pulled up really well after the 3-day event at New Jersey in May. We gave him, I think, 3 weeks rest, and then just gently brought him back in. And I was sort of keen to get this advanced under his belt before I head overseas. I'm gone for about 3 weeks. Then my game plan is to actually come back and then aim him for the 4-star short at Great Meadow. That's in Virginia, and that gives us a sort of a good time to build him up for that. I think from getting back from Japan, I'll be here for 3 weeks, so I'll have plenty of time to cross-country school him and jump him a couple of times before Great Meadow. That's usually it'll be much harder than what we went through today, but it's usually a good 4-star short. He's very, very strong in all 3 phases. And this weekend was sort of just about survival, getting through it. And he actually exceeded my expectations. I think he finished in 3rd place, which is really, really good considering we were just on completion mode, if you know what I mean. He's a deceiving horse. He's a big boy, big thick horse, but he can gallop like the wind. And I wasn't really even trying to go fast on him cross country, and I think we had 6 time penalties. So obviously, if I decided to put my foot down, he would have easily made the time, because on the cross country we see a little bit of it in this video, but it was a little bit green, and I sort of set him up for all the tricky combinations. In the show jumping, I've been lucky. Peter Wild and Eric Devander have been coming to the farm, coaching me a fair bit, and I've been able to slot Donald in those training sessions. Peter Wild's a great jumping instructor and really, really likes Donald. Nothing fancy. We're trying to get him to shorten up his stride. He's got a ginormous, canter stride, which is awesome for galloping, but a little bit hard for the dressage and show jumping. So getting him a little bit balanced and sitting back. Obviously, he's a very good, scopy, careful jumper. So I sort of don't need too many tricks to make him jump better. It's more sort of the rideability. He doesn't turn that well, especially to the right. He's a little bit stiff on the right rein, and he still can be a little bit cheeky. Like every now and then he catches me out just when I think he's trained and a seasoned campaigner. He does a bit of a hop and a spin on me. Now here's our first attempt of a flying change. Come on, big fella. There you go. It was clean. I had to sort of pull him from one side to the other, but they're in there. And I think by the end of the year, I'd ideally like to do a 4-star long on him somewhere towards the end of the year, and by the time October or November comes along, those flying changes should be sweet. So I think he scored a 31 in the dressage. It was one of the good judges. It was Valerie Viscarando who was the judge, who's actually a top FEI judge. So pretty good score considering it's his first whirl at it. Here's our second change. And this basically, these flying changes are the big difference. They're pretty good. Big difference between intermediate and advanced, obviously. So all in all, I was actually thrilled with the way he went here because, we practiced the test a couple of times, but not nearly the sort of focus that you have for the big 3-day events. It's bloody hot, actually. So this is the show jumping, which is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and he jumped really, really well. Sort of a tight course, and you had to sort of zip along a little bit for the time. And he's still a little bit tricky to turn right, especially, and then obviously turning left's the side that he could go a bit silly in, so I sort of gave a little bit of a tickle with the spur on that left turn. The good thing is, like earlier this year, he was having the odd rail down. Like I felt like I had to override him slightly in the show jumping so he wouldn't be naughty, but then he lost his jump a bit, and I sort of found a good mix now of making sure he's in front of the leg and being honest, but not sort of charging around like a wild man and losing his carefulness. So I had 3 horses in the class, and he was my third of the 3, and it was bloody hard getting a clear round for me. Now, I did cross-country school them a couple of days before, so they lost a little bit of their sharpness. But Donald's such a good jumper, he still got a clear round. I think we were in like 6th place or something after the show jumping. This is a couple little snippets of the cross-country. This is about a third of the way around. It's a bit of a turning exercise to one stride through the water. And he's a deceiving horse, like I said before. He's got a big stride and he's got a real engine. This was a Trakehner down to an offset 2-stride. Anyway, all in all, I can't tell you how impressed I am with him. He did this advanced horse trials easy, and our next event will most likely be a 4-star short there at Great Meadow in Virginia, and then if everything keeps going well, we'll try and find a 4 long for him. Anyway, thanks for your support, guys.